Hello and welcome to Lorehammer. We're doing a Instagram live right now. Something's messed up. I'm just trying to be able to figure it there. Maybe that worked to show my face. Um, First time ever doing this. Hey, well, while I'm trying to figure this out, welcome out to Lorehammer. I'm your host, Mark. We got another battery bust episode. On this episode, I figured out what was happening. There's like a 10-second lag. So I'm like, what the fuck? I'm not showing up. Well, we're at it. Okay, everything's smooth and working. Hey, welcome. Yeah, battery bust. What's happening in this episode? I live 100% off grid. I collect my own solar, do my own range catch system. But the last couple weeks, my solar system's been fucked on me, essentially. So when it gets dark, my batteries pretty much go out. You know, when you get a phone and like it's good, and then you hit that point in the phone's battery life where it's like you leave your house for 15 minutes and then it's dead. Yeah, my solar system's like that. We do have new batteries on the way, so that's exciting. It's been kind of nice, actually. Like the sun sets, couple hours later my power goes out, so you're almost forced to just like sit and chill. And you have a laptop going, but you don't have internet anymore because there's no more power for Starlink. So yeah, in this episode I've kind of just been or these episodes I'm kind of just doing things that I can do on my own and not with a whole host of crew in the evening time. And on this episode, I want to do an Instagram live. I used to do these a lot when hobbying. I really enjoyed them. They're fun. Explains why Mark can't read. Shaving time. Yeah, what I liked about Instagram Live is the comments are always way more active. It's kind of the idea that kind of gave me the idea to do live stream shows and get people to call in, because I used to do that all the time. So if you're listening, you want to call in on the Instagram Live, you're more than welcome to. So I'm just hanging out, trying to do things. This episode, I think I'm just gonna do a little hobby hang. My hobby hang for like the last I don't know, maybe a month, let's say, since Court and me did a hobby hangout. I've just been daydreaming about the Liber Malleus, and you've heard episodes about it, but I've just been doing pixel art on MS Paint. And when I was a young boy, I used to do so much pixel art, and actually even like one of the first times I met Christian, I think, like definitely the first time I was in his bedroom, him and his older brother, me and him were friends. Before me and the younger brother Christian. So I went into their shared room and I seen Christian doing MS Paint pixel art. And he was doing Clone Troopers, man. And it was 10 out of 10. It inspired me to do my own. Lots of people have used those like Space Marine fill in your own, you drop it in MS Paint and then you start filling out shit, I feel like I take it to the next level sometimes, because if I don't find the template, I make my own. If you're watching, this would be a great episode to go hop on the Patreon for $2.50 or $5. I don't know. I never read that part of the script. You can come and watch the video and you'll see what I'm actually working on. My little hobby time. I got pulled up on MS Paint, just a bunch of Liber Malleus Terminators and some Dreadnoughts in the striking orange and black. Man, I just look at these guys, and somebody said Cheeto Marines, and I instantly burnt them to death with the heavy flamer for her. How dare you? They look beautiful. They're gorgeous. Somebody else said, why are they brown? And he also met the blunt end of a power maul. But man, I think they look pretty cool. I can't wait to paint. It's been basically 2 years since I have done any serious hobbying. Should announce this in the Discord. Maybe, somebody should drop a link. I'm not totally sure how to. Oh, there's a link. Okay, maybe I'll do that. Yeah, I'm going to be hanging out for the next hour or so. Yeah, maybe if somebody else wants to try to drop that, it's hard to, it's hard enough to talk to yourself for an hour and keep your train of thought. Anyways. If only Trevor Buzak was here to talk to me, but alas, he's away at work. So my Liber Malleus, when doing this, man, it's been so long since I've modeled. Like, I just have been fanging for it so hard. So I'm doing the MS Paint. And when I'm looking at these guys, I've been, we always come up with helmet color patterns. Like, oh, what rank means or what? If you're looking, the black helmet is like the all black helmet is a veteran. Then you had a stripe down it. You got veteran sergeants, and you just kind of build up and up and up until you get the chapter master. We got a chaplain too. That was pretty fun to make, because he was very custom on MS Paint, where I'm getting good, man. I'm getting really good. I don't want to brag because it's MS Paint, but holy shit, if you want to hire me for I think I should go apply or go advertise on Fiverr for my skills, Um, yeah, man, they were so fun. I made custom purity seals. I really wanted these guys to have a bunch of freehand on them. If you've kind of heard my hobby journey before, I've every new hobby I try to do like a new technique or like, okay, this one's going to be all about green stuff. Let's learn about that, how to do that. Let's focus the project around that. In this project, I want to do a lot of freehand. Continue building on that because I the last model I painted was an Imperial Knight free blade, and it was I actually have it. I could grab it. Maybe 1 second. Hold on. Yeah, this is the Imperial Knight Fleet Breed from House Aerokiss, and you can see it's at striking purple and gold and white. But I did so much freehand on them, and it was so much fun that yeah, I'm gonna kind of take it down now to a smaller scale. Like it's one thing to do freehand on an Imperial Knight. Let's drop that down. Now you're dealing with like penny size scale. So that's my one goal too. I hear working and painting with orange is a pain in the dick, but we'll find out. I've been really tempted to cheat it and either a get like a airbrush, then orange is not a big deal to paint. Or just cheat it by doing like a spray paint can and get an orange and then build off like a base of orange. So you're not building up off of black or even white can be sometimes like to cover white cleanly and smoothly. Like, I don't know. But I definitely got to watch some videos and stuff. I was also eyeballing paint, man. I'm kind of restarting my whole hobby situation here. Like I brought my bits box down to Panama. So that's nice. But all my paints are kind of gunked up and fucked. It's been a couple years. So gonna buy all new paint and yeah, really just want to kind of like what can I do with every color? Not like that I want to use every color on the mini, but now that I have the option to like how many layers of red can I put down before it's too much? Like really go wild. I kind of see the Liber Malleus as my like I don't know if they're my most favorite lore project yet, but they might get there if they continue on their like journey of community building and growing models and armies. But I kind of see them as like my if I was to have something put into maybe lore, maybe this would be it. This would be one of my takes. Like I wouldn't put my Imperial Knights into like canonized lore. Like I like them, they're cool, but like also they're kind of childish. Like they're intentionally quirky and weird. Like men at arms. Knights at arms, men at feet, and yeah, they're kind of jokey. The Liber Malleus are pretty jokey too, but I think I like what happened to them. They took a much more serious turn with the Sundering. So yeah, I've just been building them out on MS Paint. I got Chaos guys too, but it might be hard to transfer that over. I guess I can just go like this. Yeah, the dreadnoughts are fun. I put in like all the script and stuff, so I can't wait to do freehand all like the little script on purity seals or shin guards or the checker pattern. Let's open up. Been a while since I've seen Lorehammer go wild live. Yeah, I don't do these often because I would almost do these only when I was hobbying, and I don't hobby that often. But the Liber Malleus I have placed in order. Like they are en route to Panama. So, maybe live streaming will become more of a thing for sure. Market's called commissions. Say it with me. Commission. Yeah. 9. Yeah. Okay, let's open up the Unbound, the Liber Malleus that fell to chaos. Whoa. Started zoomed in right in this dude's crotch. Very nice. Yeah, these guys were crazy to make on MS Paint because I totally like, okay, let's take a leg from this Chaos Space Marine. There were no Chaos Terminators, so I really had to kind of like reposition, redraw a lot of lines, but I think they came out great. What was kind of neat about the Liber Malleus and doing these, just kind of working out like, oh, the Chaos Marines, they have the old heraldry still. Like they didn't change their color pattern. Where the new guys, they were reforged, reborn, they changed it to all their color patterns to the orange. Did a little update, which means I got a blue Terminator in here on the Chaos side. The Sorcerer Lord, who would have been a librarian, has remained blue. So it's kind of he might stand out. That guy, I'm like, oh man, I should probably not stick with the standard blue. But also, I think it's kind of just cool that they're all remained the way they were supposed to kind of be. But whatever. It is funny. Typically, when I do like a hobby project, not always, and this is just pseudo wacky, me being too into myself. It seems like sometimes my hobby projects line up with what GW is releasing. And man, like kind of the day I announced doing Liber Malleus stuff or buying some Terminator, I don't remember exactly, but basically it was like right around the same time the Saturn Terminators came out, and I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, if I'm choosing between Chaos Terminators, Loyalist Terminators, what about doing like I don't know how, but what if the Liber Malleus got flung into the past and we're now like in 30k times? But I didn't have any control of the direction of this, and that would have been pretty lame. So yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I've been working on these for like too long that I thought I was gonna be like, oh, watch me fill in colors, but they're pretty much done. Honestly, maybe I just wanted to show them off to the world. The Saturn Terminators, they're sweet. I like them. Man, I like that old school artwork with them with the heavy bolter above their head just blasting and walking. It's just yeah, man. Like Astartes are like these walking tanks they're described as, where they're almost like, yeah, you also get them as these like super quick, like unnaturally fast humans, but like it's fun to see them do that like slow kind of ponder stomp where they're unstoppable. I guess it's almost like having fast zombies and like slow zombies where like both zombies are dangerous and yeah, you got to deal with them. But fast zombies, man, fast Astartes they're scary and they're in a very different way than just a bunch of anyways, weird fucking thing. The fun thing about Instagram Live is since it's just me talking to myself, I honestly don't know how live streamers and other people typically do this for a long time, just talk to themselves. It's pretty funny. I already feel like what the fuck do you say to yourself? Anyways, doesn't matter. It makes for great podcasting, I'm sure though. Let's talk about other things. I do have other things we can jump into, not just Liber Malleus stuff. Yeah, we're almost at episode 200, which is pretty wild. And I've had some thoughts, not about only episode 200, what to do on that episode. I feel like it's just going to be like maybe a Discord hang or like some call-in, or I'm not totally sure. The problem with that is like you get too many call-ins, editing a file is going to get fucking weird quick. But yeah, hard to say. Nothing that big should move that fast, the comment says. Yeah, man, exactly. Where was I? Wow, that's just one of those brain farts, it's in. So this is when sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, okay, they're talking to yourself. Somebody could remind me. Now you stall, you hope to God it comes back to you. Oh, that's something. I live out on the ocean. It's fucking beautiful here. I'm just like staring out onto the ocean. My little hut is just located right on the water, built on little stilts and stuff. It's pretty fucking cool out here. Okay, I remembered. Finally, the delay has paid off. Episode 200. Yeah, like that'd be fun. Big Discord hang would be fun. Something like that. People have said do another big interview or something, but man, I've done so many. Like, it's no longer like the same thing. Like I've already kicked that door in. I feel like I could talk to anyone at GW now with enough persuasion, which is kind of pretty cool. Never thought that would really be a case for sure. Going into the future, I don't know what Lorehammer really fully will be like. I like doing what we're doing for sure. I also am like, holy fuck, 100 episodes just went by. That went fast. Like the first 100 took me and Eric like 5 years, maybe 5 or 6 years. And these last 100 I did in like 6 months. The pace I went at is honestly not sustainable, and it's also not like listenable. Like, and the nice thing about Lorehammer is you can turn it on at any time. You don't have to keep up to date with the show because it's not like I ever do new releases or stuff like that. Like, very rare do we ever do anything that's not like evergreen, that's so topical that if you listen to it, it'll never work again. We were talking on the last fucking battery bust episode, me and Court, just about like, we were opening up old Lorehammer notes and what they used to look like and kind of that old flavor. And I spent a lot of time writing notes. So I'm kind of like, okay, what do I do with Lorehammer? Do I continue doing 3 episodes? But maybe I dial back the how much information you get. Like, that's always the question. Like, how much information do I want to give people? And how much do I want people to say, well, you missed this, or what about this? And it's like, well, yeah, I knew about that. You can only talk for so many increments. There's a fine line of like trying to like manage an episode, honestly. I've been thinking about, trying to bring back some old school style episodes where the notes are almost more like bullet point and you almost kind of rattle them off and it's more conversational instead of like these big long reads. The Primarchs will stay the same. Like, I'm not going to change how the Primarch series are working, but these are just some kind of thoughts. Podcasting is interesting, man. Like, it's a weird kind of thing. I used to have Eric to kind of like talk to me about a bunch of these things. Now I kind of just go solo and have to kind of, what do you guys want to do for this or for that? It's all good though. So what else was there? Yeah, that's going to be fun. Like, I don't plan on ending Lorehammer for any foreseeable future. Like, I feel like now I got to finish some stuff. Like, we've dove into a bunch of different topics, but now that we've kind of started them, we got to finish them, which means easily another fucking infinite episode. So I'm not going anywhere. It's more just like, how do we want to keep presenting it? Change that style this way, change it like that. Yeah. It's been fun. It's been cool too, doing all the different calling guests and all the different hosts and stuff. We've always had a bunch of different hosts. I think even before we live streamed, we had like over 50 different hosts and stuff. But you change it out. People apparently really liked it. So, all right. What else? What do you people watching in the live stream want to talk about? Don't leave me hanging. Shoot out conversations. Let's see if you can be the guy to piss me off. Do you want to talk about Primaris Marines? Not a chance, booted. I'm so happy that the Liber Malleus didn't turn Primaris Marines. That was an option. It was remain Firstborn, turn Primaris, and then the hidden bonus third option was Fall to Chaos, and that's what people chose. We actually tied that and the remained Firstborn, but yeah. Anyone out on the old Instagram want to hop on? We could chit chat. Then I'm not just like, wow. Yeah, this is better when I'm actually hobbying and I could be like, oh yeah, check out this. Don't you like how I've accented its crotch piece? Don't get you started on Curse of the Night Lords. Yeah, man, fucking. Yeah, that one was tough. Some of the Primarchs have been fun for sure. Like there was a reason why we never did Primarchs. They were never my favorite thing in the first place in their newest interpretations. But there are some that like really won me over. Like the Lion, I think, really won me over. And then it was funny hearing Rick Priestley, who kind of did a lot of the early Dark Angel lore, say, well, that's not how I would have done it. I'm like, well, I kind of fucking like it. But, there's a couple. White Scars, I think I got a new appreciation for. Maybe not like, I wouldn't ever do a White Scar army. Not saying they're not cool, but like, yeah, okay. I think I got more than just, oh, it's the J. Cuddy Khan, it's Khan knockoff. So. Give some Unbound. That's silly. Unbound. The Liber Malleus, they fall to Unbound, the unbound powers of the warp where you don't serve any gods. You don't ever want to serve no chaos gods, but you will use the power of the warp. I see them learning how to the tech priests will definitely go the road of channeling warp energy into plasma guns, so then the plasma guns shoot warp energy, that kind of thing, where the sorcerers are shooting warped lightning as opposed to opening demonic portals and flooding your planet in a pool of blood or whatever the heck. Yeah, to be fair, you've been doing each one justice so far. I've been enjoying the Primarchs for sure. It's fun. There's nothing wrong with them. It's a lot. Next is the Blood Angels one. That one's going to be fun. I can redeem myself for my follies of missing up the Black Rage and the Red Curse. Yeah. Or is it the other way around? Just kidding, I know. We used to have to memorize so much stuff for Lorehammer. It was crazy, man. Now I write it all down. That way you can get more of the details. The Primarchs, man, it's a lot of stuff to keep track, especially when you're doing 20 characters that all kind of mix and mingle at one point or another over 200 years. It's pretty neat how they've done it. I wonder how many people have actually read the whole series. You know, all 50 books and all the Siege and all the fucking anthologies and all the bloody blah. I read quite a few, but eventually, man, you just can't do it anymore. I'm just looking out into the ocean. There's like a lot of weird waves coming off this guy's boat. It's kind of funny looking. What's she out to up there? What Loyalist Primarch do you want back next? I want Big Daddy Vulcan back. The Imperium needs some tech back. Yeah, that's a good question. The Imperium, some tech, Vulcan, that could be fun. You know, he'd bring a little innovation. You know, that's not the direction I ever want 40k to go, innovation, but you know, I see the appeal as opposed to the grim dark. You know, you hear the rant. I don't want any Primarchs coming back. I think they all belong lost away. But now that begs a cat's out of the bag. So who do I want back next? Either Layman Russ as a full-on werewolf, uncontrollable werewolf. I feel like we need a little chaos on the Imperium side, a little conflict. Not enough conflict. Like, I don't want Imperium Civil War 2, but somebody that's just a little more rowdy, you know, not a nobleman like Gilliman or the Lion. Another good one would be Korax in his shadow form. That would be pretty cool. Like, it just is kind of like just kind of balances it out almost. So yeah, it's like, okay, you can have some chaos ones looking like humans and some humans one looking like chaos. I feel like the way they brought a bunch of the Primarchs back so far, really just the 2 Loyalist one. The other 4, the traitor ones, they were always around. The you know, Angron, Mortarion, Magnus, and Fulgrim, they were always around. But Reboot Gilliman, man, I wish he came back in the Dreadnought. I thought that would have been fucking sweet. That instead of like him coming back as he is, like, I just feel like you need a way to fight these big bad demons. Like, I see Angron next to Gilliman, and I go, okay, you fucked Gilliman. Like, what are you gonna do against that? Like, first of all, you're both Primarch, so it's not like you're a Primarch against a greater demon. Like, he's just better than you in every way. And how are you gonna beat that? It creates these I don't know, like these weird scenarios where now you have to kind of fudge how they won, or like, oh, they clashed for 7 days and 7 nights and then they backed out. Yeah, anyways, you know, you'd start me talking about Primarchs and I get all ranty and ravey. Happens every time, just like clockwork. You guys need to do a Lorehammer World Tour. Yeah. I honestly wish somebody invited us. It's funny, I was talking about that the other Battery Bust episode too with Court. Like, that was Eric's dream. Like, that'd be cool to get invited to a Nova Open or something like that. It'd be pretty fucking cool. I would definitely go for sure to anything that I got invited to. I've been invited to like some local tournaments and stuff, obviously, and you know, I've gone there and some local charity events and stuff. But like, you know, there's a big difference between 25 people at an event and like 1,000. I don't know if they ever get that big in the Nova Opens, but I think they do. I think they get pretty big. Maybe not 1,000 players, but like, you know, walk-ins and stuff, walk-arounds or whatever. I mean, the Imperium needs an answer for Vashtar and his antics of equipping chaos. Call, I guess, would be that answer if we needed one. Yeah, like Call already kind of fills that. Vulcan bringing tech. Yeah, like I feel like when you bring the Primarchs back, you almost want to flip what they are now. Maybe not flip, but like enhance. For example, like when Rogel Doran comes back, or if it was possible, if he wasn't dead, I would want him to come back as opposed to this cold, calculating, calm, cool, collected kind of guy. You want him back as the Black Templar, where he is filled with rage now, and that's him now. Where Gilliman, where once he was like a master of administration, a master statesman, now he's trapped in a dreadnought. Like, you want these grimdark twists where it's like, yeah, good luck picking up a pencil now, Gilliman. Like, now one of your greatest assets is kind of useless to us. Yeah, you know, you want these kind of tweaks. Layman Russ coming back as the Wolfen, where it's like, well, obviously you got to become a fucking werewolf, dude. Like, so what then? The point of all that is, what then is Vulcan's kind of opposite? What was he kind of known for? Yeah, maybe making some tech and stuff, but was he really known for advancing tech in the Imperium as a whole, or did he just kind of make a couple chapter relics and like, I know he has like I think it's the 7 relics of Vulcan or whatever they call them, and one of them is like a mighty forge ship that rivals Arc Mechanicum ships and stuff like that. So yeah, that's an okay thing, but I feel like I don't know, like that's not who he is, and that's not like a twist on Vulcan, if that makes sense. Um, yeah, like you don't want to lead the chapter in a different direction, but create just a little bit of that conflict where yeah, it's like has Vulcan become extremely petty now after being tortured by crews for so long? Where it's like his salamanders, they care for their people and they care for the people in the Imperium. You kind of hear that trope over and over. Maybe Vulcan comes back and like that aspect is kind of gone, where it's like only in the cleansing fires of flame can we rebuild. And right now he's in the cleansing fire stage and not the rebuilding phase. I think that's kind of the I'm not happy with that one. I wouldn't submit that as an idea to GW, but that's kind of like the vibe. What do you think? I know the thing's 10 seconds behind, so I gotta like now fill 10 seconds as people type and whatever. Yeah. Yeah, all the traded Primarchs, they can all come back just without nothing. Like they never went anywhere. They were all just in the warp, and it's either be like, okay, Slaanesh didn't make or Fulgrim didn't make an appearance for 200 years or 1,000 years just because he was on some new excessive delight or whatever that he's kind of been absorbed into. But then he comes back, no big deal. You don't really need excuses. But what other Primarchs? There's always Sanguinius and Ferrus Manus. You really want to piss a guy off, you can talk about bringing them back. I guess Rogel Dorn even falls into this category technically. Although him, I wouldn't be mad if he came back. Honestly, like that one, it's like yeah, that one they wrote pretty good at some spots where Sanguinius dead, Headless Manus dead. I liked Christian had an idea one time called the was it the Iron Imperial Fists? No, that's that Iron Fists. Yeah, I think it was the Iron Fist chapter. But basically, it was a successor chapter, or it was even the fucking. Oh, if people remember, they're gonna be like yelling at their thing. I've been blanking a lot. This is what happens when it's just me. The Iron Hands successor, or the Iron Hands themselves, since they don't have a Primarch, they kind of banner under with Rogel Dorn. They kind of create the Iron Fists or the Imperial Hands or whatever you want to kind of call them. Kind of build together. He had that said way better than I did, and now I butchered it for him. So good for him. He's a really cool model on tabletop. I wonder who you were talking about. Yeah, he just comes back. He's still mental, and he flashes of insanity, and the Emperor talks to him or something. A good answer to the Primarch issues and more Primarch equivalents for other factions since GW is going full steam on Hero Hammer. Yeah, and that's a good point too. You bring these Primarchs into 40K, and now you have to balance them, and it's just like some are very easy to balance. Like the Swarm Lord, in theory, could be a match for a Primarch, and I wouldn't have any fuss about it. Unfortunately, they've neutered that guy so hard compared to like what his lore could be. Well, his lore's badass. He just doesn't seem to fill that same kind of role. I don't know. Maybe that's just old school lore and old school kind of rules and stuff. But yeah, like what do you do with Tau? Maybe you just give him a cool battle suit, but that just seems so fucking lame. And like, okay, great, you already have battle suits. Like, you need to then come up with like, who are they? They have to be somebody important and powerful or prominent in there. So now you're adding a huge kind of concept to each of the races that don't necessarily need them. And yeah, we got Primarchs and stuff, or Quarks, and yeah, you can always go back and find something, even just off rambling, we can talk about it. But yeah, it just creates a lot of issues with the Primarchs coming back because they were never meant to be here. like he did to Rowboat Willie Man at the end of the Plague Wars. Yeah, 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 yeah. Um, yeah, that's about talking to the Emperor or whatever, for sure. Yeah, yeah, they've done a lot of weird missteps with the lore, but that's just they've also done so many things right. You know, you could get hooked up on all the missteps, but meanwhile, you know, I'm still buying their minis, I guess. Somehow I've talked other people into buying minis for me, but that's just neither here nor there. That's just a good deed for a guy who just for a poor Panamanian down here, just begging for some plastic crack out on the ocean. Vashtar's model is really cool. Yeah, yeah. Hey, Seth, what's good? Yeah, Vashtar, he's got a pretty cool model. Some cool artwork. I've seen some people like that his artwork that's prominent. He's got like lightning flashing off and around him. I've seen people do a lot of lightning with paper clips or electrical copper wire or whatever they use to really just make that Vashtar like, whoa, god damn. Can't wait to see Brother Seth. Yeah, yeah. I have placed an order for the Liber Malleus for the Chaos, all the Chaos Infantry, which is, I think, essentially 30 to 35 Terminators. You know, there's 2 or 3 hero models and there's a couple spares, whatever. But yeah, I can't wait to get them. It's could be a minute before I get them, honestly. I live in the middle of nowhere. It's fucking beautiful here, but it's the middle of nowhere. Do you think they would ever bring back a Primarch and he would form a new Space Marine chapter because of what he went through? Form a new chapter? Probably not. Not when there are successors and Death Watch. And I kind of will use Doran as an example. You know, you could maybe talk about each one individually, but Doran's the example. I talked about him coming back and being like, he's no longer the calm and collected guy. Now he is rage incarnate. Like now he's the vengeful son. So now he's like, yeah, I don't think I want to hang out with the Fists anymore. I'm gonna go hang out with the Black Templar. I can see that happening for sure. That'd be pretty cool. But to found a new chapter and stuff, first of all, who's Gene Seed? Do they use their own? Maybe they do. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like I would like to hear like maybe there's one that have a very specific reason why he would want to do that. But like man, like all the Primarchs, especially the loyalist ones, they like their Space Marines. You know, like they weren't like Portarabo. Like none of them were like that. Or like Kurz, where it's just like they were loyalists. They weren't good guys necessarily, but yeah. I do like that idea though. But yeah, like 10,000 years has gone back. When the loyalists come back, they have to be changed. Like the Can, he spent all his time in the Black Library. I kind of think this would be a neat little twist. He comes out and is a Xeno sympathizer, as much as you can be. Now, hear me out. He goes into the webway. He finds the Black Library. He works with them. Khan always was more of a philosopher. He was a warrior too, but it's like you can't be a good swordsman unless you know how to wield a sword. Your mind has to be sharp before your sword can type concept. I'm not wording it good because I'm not smart like the Can. But he did always like knowledge first. And the other kind of piece to the Xeno sympathizer thing was when the Emperor came, and even when he was taking over his own planet, it was like, okay, I want the best outcome. I'm not always going to get the best outcome, but how can we get the outcome that's going to be the least destructive, I guess, or cause the least entropy, I guess would be one way to say it. So he joins specific tribes that he may not agree with entirely, but then he gets the outcome he wants. When the Emperor came, he's like, okay, I started my own empire on this planet. And yes, I could fight back against you. And yes, you might leave me alone or blah, 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 but I could just join your cause. He almost has this like greater good cause philosophy going on, So, anyways, we take that mentality a little bit where, he just wants the best for the Imperium now. And maybe the best for the Imperium is to align with Xenos. And after working with the Black Liber and the Eldar for 10,000 years, reading kind of history, realizing what chaos is more, all that kind of shabam around, maybe they recognize Tyranids or something like that. In the Black Library, they read something about that, or whatever he comes across. He basically comes to the conclusion that you side with some Xenos every now and again. So little things like that, where it's like, yeah, you add something that, yeah, you got to do a little something. I think they wrote the Siege of Rax really, really well. Yeah, I love those Forge World books, man. I wish they were still doing that style. Yeah, those Forge World books are sweet. Those Imperial armor. Yeah. I definitely have on my list of episodes to go through those books. Tell the story of what happened in those books. They're written in my episode notes. One day we'll get to them. It's not the most pressing thing, but it will happen one day. I have the PDF of all of them. I did have in the in the Lorehammer library, like most of them. I might have been missing one, but yeah, they're fucking tight. Mark, what do you think about the rumors Russ will come back, especially with all the Space Wolf stuff coming out? Yeah, that's interesting. Like at this point, why would he not? Like at this point, if you didn't bring Layman Russ back, you got to almost scratch your head. But then I also think okay, they didn't bring. But I guess they couldn't bring Sanguinius back when they did the Blood Angels refresh, because the Blood Angels got a bunch of new Primaris models exclusive too, like their Honor Guard guys. They got some tactical squads, so they were brought back. They didn't get a Primarch model, but their Primarch's dead. So what do you fucking do? Yeah, I think there's no reason why they wouldn't bring him back right now. Like it just seems so fitting. I think the big question is what form does he come back in? Is he a full-on werewolf? Like some people would love to hate. I don't like the idea of a werewolf. I'm not like a werewolf fan, but I like the idea of Russ coming back as a werewolf. Yeah. Enough about Primarchs. What Xenos Chaos factions should Titus face in Space Marine 2? Yeah, that'd be cool. So we've seen him go against orcs, some Necron stuff, some Tyranids, obviously. Tau could be fun. Tau could be fun for sure. Fighting battle suits and stuff could be a lot of fun. And going against shooting could be a lot of fun too, and make it more maybe shooting style. Like you wouldn't want to change the game too much or whatever, but I don't know. Yeah, anything, honestly, whatever. Anything would be fun. Any Xenos you kill is good. You're gonna have a good time, whether you're crushing a Rakghoul or a Olafiti. Yeah, we haven't done that episode yet, but I was writing notes on them today. We're doing a bunch of minor Xenos here. If my batteries weren't busted and we could record in the nighttime, we were about to dive back into minor Xenos, and we got the Rakghoul, we got some Tau Empire stuff. I think we got 2 weeks of episodes, so should be pretty fun. One more thing about Space Marine 2. I don't know if anyone played that Astartes mod that came out. Maybe if you go to Nexus, fucking man, it's been so long since I've done anything on here. I don't remember. Go check it out. Astartes mod, Nexus. You probably find it if you Google that. But it's pretty cool. They make the ranks and stuff more like the actual tabletop ranks. Like there's no in there. They have intercessor. They have all the proper fucking names for them, which I don't like the names. But if you're gonna go with it, you go with it across all of your fucking mediums. Then they arm the classes a little more appropriate and stuff, and come up with a couple new war gear options and blah blah. But it was pretty cool. When do you think Abaddon will do a 14th Black Crusade? Yes. And here's the question too. Okay, so technically now I feel like maybe this isn't the best way to say this, but now the Black Crusades are over to some degree. Like Abaddon has done what he wanted to do to some degree. Like he wanted to rip the galaxy in half. That's what all those Black Crusades were for. Like at first it was like about revenge, and then around the second or third, I forget, he finds a pylon. He's like, oh, if I destroy these, I'll rip the galaxy in half. He kind of comes up with this plan, and over the next 10 crusades, he kind of enacts a piece of the puzzle. Okay, so now I need these 3 artifacts to activate these and he goes through the whole fucking routine, and every time. So he essentially has done what he wanted to do. Maybe you could argue, very easily probably you could argue, that his main goal is to kill the Emperor. Sure. And maybe that's what the 15th, 14th crusades are. I feel like that's almost more of Horus's goal. Like, yeah, Abaddon wants the Emperor dead too, but also, is Abaddon not just happy to rip the galaxy in half and now start ripping it into tinier pieces? Like, there's more than one way to destroy the Imperium. You don't have to just kill the Emperor. And also, maybe he's just more of that, he's in it now for the power. But yeah. Yeah, pretty cool model. I was tempted to buy him when doing the Liber Malleus Chaos Terminators, and I actually bought the old Abaddon model, and I'm going to use some parts off him for conversions, whatever. But the new one, man, he's just so big that he would be so out of place, and that was kind of unfortunate with that new model, where it's just like, fucking GW. I'll tell you what, fucking GW and their scaling issue is just an absolute bullshit nonsense piss off. Like, I'm going to buy models, and I'm like, oh, okay, so this Terminator is this scale, this Terminator is this scale. Oh, the Loyalists and the Traitors are different scales. Oh, their firstborn. Oh, blah, 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 blah. It was fucking bonkers, man. Because basically half the Terminators are so fucking cool, but you can't use them because they'd be too goddamn small. There's no Chaos Terminator heroes other than for Abaddon now. Who's too goddamn big, and literally he doesn't look good next to the Terminator. So you put them side by side, it's weird. What can I do against such reckless hatred of scale from GW? I don't know what I can do. Maybe one day we can change it, but until then, here we are. All right, in the chat, give me another topic. Try to piss me off. Tell me a joke. Hey, what do you call a black ninja? His name. You call him by his name. Jeez. Panama's pretty cool. I'm just watching people kayak past out on the ocean, killing time. I don't know. I got my screw pile here. I was rummaging through it, looking for Power Fists and Terminator arms and shit the other day. I can't wait to get models. I honestly cannot fucking wait. It's been so long. It's been years. I used to hobby minimum an hour a day, minimum. And then I got a life. And now I have a baby. And she's pretty cute. I like my little baby. We go on little jungle walks together all the time. I have this baby carrier thing that I strap onto my chest, and then we just go walk through the jungle. She's 8 months old. She knows what my machete is. It's pretty funny. We'll chop, and she'll want to hold the machete handle with me. And if we go on the walk without the machete, she'll kind of want to reach for it. I'm like, what the fuck? What are we doing? We need that tool. It's a pretty cute little baby. One of these battery bust episodes is going to be another Dad Hammer. It's going to be kind of like a prelude episode. I have started working on it. It still needs a lot of work, though. And then the other thing that kind of sucks, too, is the last Dad Hammers, I didn't do any of the producing of it. I wrote the scripts, and I, obviously did the production of recording, and I didn't do all the voices as well. So this one, without somebody doing the back-end production of adding sound effects, it might be a little weird. It might not be a battery bust episode. It might come out another time. And then I'm kind of like, okay, well, then at that point, do I even want to? So right now, I'm kind of like, okay, do I have somebody in my pocket that can turn an episode around for me within a week and a half? Maybe. We'll see. It'd be cool. But I got a cool idea. I think I know. I definitely know what happens in season 2 of Dad Hammer. For those who've listened to season 1, it ended on quite the cliffhanger. I don't want to spoil it, or I'll give you a second to pause it, but quite the cliffhanger for Xenos biologist Marcus. Yeah. All right. Okay, scroll. I guess It's the same as the Tyranid swarms and how close they got to Terra. Sure. I saw Knights might get a Rebox and new Codex soon because the question isn't on the GW website. Yeah, didn't they just get a couple new variants? One variant carries some type of like void shield on it, and it's like a bodyguard type knight. I think they got some flail type knight too, but maybe that's just in my fantasies. Hard to say. But I remember this knight on like with this giant like chain whip thing. What non-Space Marine faction would you be interested in working on? Yeah, Kroot, man. There are so many new Kroot models that exist since I did them. Like I worked on like the 2004 Kroot box set, and I had a metal hero sharper. Yeah, so I definitely would love to get a hold of those new. Like when I was doing like, what do I want to do? Like I definitely was like in the mood. I'm like, okay, I definitely have some hobby time. I definitely have some cash. Let's pick up another project. And it turned into Liber Malleus, which I'm very happy about. If it didn't, it would have turned into Kroot. And I had this whole kind of like kindred planned out where I wanted to have the main kindred and all the sub kindreds where I'd be doing a lot of converting where it's like, okay, here's your amphibian kindred, here's your flying kindred, your lizard kindred. And it would just be a squad of each one, but it'd be so fun. Because like I was kind of thinking like, yeah, I was saying with my Liber Malleus that this was going to be kind of my submitting project, my Dias Machina, no, my Diasopia, no, whatever it is, I don't fucking know words, whatever. A project that you can kind of almost just constantly add to, The Kroot would have been a good project for that. You can always come up with a new Kroot. The Liber Malleus are good because you can kind of come up with different storylines. And until you collect 1,000 of them, you ain't done. But that's fucked. Thanks to you, I might do cybernetic Kroot in the far future. Oh, that'd be cool. Okay. Yeah. So tell me more about that in concept. Like, Kroot aren't opposed necessarily to bionics in the first place, but that's different than like being like a full cyborg. And like, how do you wrap your culture, which is based around consumption and taking new DNA and like changing yourself? And what do you do with that when you no longer have to do that? You can just upgrade your body through machinery. Yeah, that's an interesting idea. I would like to hear listener lore on it or something more. It's your Opus Magnus, bro. LOL, the greatest work. Yes, it's my Dias Magnus, my Opus Magnium. Yeah, man, fuck, eh? Back at it again. Yeah, your final project is kind of a good way to say it. Like, I won't ever be done 40K, but also like I just want like I don't want to be jumping. I'm not playing tabletop anymore, so I don't have the same desire to do new armies every 6 months, or update old armies. I don't have that same kind of goals now. So, yeah. Anyways, that's just a little bit about me. Yeah. Battery bus, man. So funny. Tomorrow we are doing a live stream. Me and Christian are going to be trying to beat the battery, or will the battery bust us? Hard to say. We beat the battery the first time, but I haven't confirmed with him. But the episode I want to do with him, I have confirmed that we are recording, but the episode I want to do with him is just go through our text messages. Like, goddamn. Our text messages are like, just like we haven't talked for a day or two. And it's like, so what do you think about helmet paint patterns? Or like, hey, I got this fantasy world I'm working on. What do you think about this? So we're just going to go through all this nonsense of just like the most obscure, random, like, you ever wonder what me and Christian talk about? It's not girls, I can tell you that. It's fucking fantasy stuff. So it's going to be a pretty fun episode. Other battery bust episodes. Gonna get to some listener lore stuff for sure. Do a listener lore episode. I'm going to do I had it all written down. This is why you write stuff down, I suppose. I guess you have to remain surprised. What do you think about the new box for the new edition of Heresy? The new Saturnine box? Yeah, I really like it, man. It's super cool. The Saturnine Terminators are sweet. I don't know anything about the lore yet, or like how that fits in, or like what is Saturnine? Like, yeah, I know Saturnine Terminator exists, but was that just a name? And now, what actually is it? Is it a planet? Was it a specific battle? Like, I don't know any of it, but it'll be interesting to learn. I do like him. Part of me wishes I did some Horus Heresy stuff. Like when we did the Dark Angels Primarch episode, man, I was on the buy page of Dark Angels on GW. I was looking through all of it. I was close to damnation and becoming a Horus Heresy player, but I averted it and I did not. But it's so cool, all that stuff, man. I like it. Yeah, the Saturnine Terminators, they're interesting. It would be cool to see kind of a little more lore on them. It'd be cool to see like an interior picture of them, of like how they crumple the marine inside. Like I know he pilots it, he doesn't wear it, so he kind of sits in it like a cockpit. But yeah, it would be a cool kind of picture to see the interior of some of these things. I like it though. Like of all the Terminator armor, like Terminator armor is supposed to be like it was kind of designed for like void asteroid mining. Maybe that's not quite the correct way to say it, but basically it was like high hazard mining operations, essentially high hazard environmental conditions. And the other Terminator armor almost just seems like maybe it's just me, but it seems too warrior-esque. I'm not even sure fully how I would describe it better than that, but maybe it's like the combination of like hip pauldrons, tilting shields, like yeah, it just kind of looks more warrior. Where the Saturnine Terminator looks more of that like industrial kind of environmental hazard suit, which is kind of cool. Kind of cool to see it go back that step and have that little tie-in. I think Vulcan got the blueprints to Terminator armor and said that that's not enough. We need more. I think, long story short, I could be wrong. Cool. I'm back. Mark, can you confirm or deny the possibility of Derridio Dreadnought without... sorry. The possibility of Derridio Dreadnought episode without me needing to bribe you to make one. No, you already said you were going to give me $100 if I did one. So now I'm just waiting on payment. Like I've held up my end of the bargain. Now you have to pay me, and I'll release the episode. Also, I have in and bought Lionel Johnson. Sweet. Did you buy the 30K or 40K version? Give us a hey, Seth, what you should do is you should buy the Liber Malleus Derridio Dreadnought. I'll open up a picture of what roughly it'll fucking look like, It's an MS Paint picture, so please be generous with me. Yes. Look at that Derridio. Oh, yeah. Is that what you like, you filthy Seth? Yeah, I can't wait to paint some of these vehicles and try an airbrush. I think that's the route I'm going to go. Airbrush, maybe the spray paint. So the other option would be doing like zenithal highlighting with spray paint cans where you, in the Liber Malleus's case, I'd spray paint them all orange, and then I would hit it from above with like a white, and then that way it adds lighting. So then when you go paint over all of it again, essentially, it adds this natural highlighting. So maybe I would do that technique. We'll see. I'll probably do some tests and see what happens. I got plenty of bits for it. I bought the 40K. Oh, I read that one. Oh, and I want the Dirty, but I only have $3 to my name. Go pick up a paper route. Yeah, well, it's basically been an hour of me talking to myself. That is fucked if you think about it. I don't feel proud of what I've accomplished here, but we did it, boys. We did it. Another successful Instagram live. Yeah, like I said, come join us tomorrow night. Me and Christian are going to be reading through our filthy fucking text messages. It should be pretty funny. Oh, man. I'm just checking to see if there's any other comments here. Oh, okay, mixed Crute and AdMech builds, but that's as far as I got conceptually. Yeah, like I myself have like a tech fruit conversion where he's wielding all Tau gear, where it's like, yeah, evolution will take us only so far, and as long as my evolution is, or like as long as my body is working like efficiently, like I don't need wings, I don't need to be constantly changing. Let's use tech now to get that last step. Yeah, sure, definitely. I like to see more. There'd be some ostracization. I feel. It's like talking to an Amish person and showing them your cell phone. And he's like, yeah, but I don't need that. We got some cool shaman staffs back here that are much better. Just reading. Ah, well, can't wait to catch tomorrow's live stream. It's only concerning if you answer yourself back. Well, yeah, that's why I created Trevor Buzak. So, I can talk to myself without having to worry about myself because Trevor's worried. Well, fun episode, everyone. Battery bust. We beat the battery today, but it was easy because when there's daylight, I have power in my solar system, and then I can beat the battery. And having said that, I was thinking about, here's another bonus battery bust episode. I was thinking about doing another UK one because they're 6 hours ahead, so I can record in the daytime. They can be in the evening time. So maybe if you're in the UK and you want to do an episode with me and you hear this, pop me a line. We'll do an episode. I got episodes ready to go, written up. We just need to set up a time. UK edition of Lorehammer, here we come. Until then, look at this pixel art. Doesn't this pixel art just make you want to just go buy some? Anyways, thanks for listening. Adios.